Vineyard 29 is a premium Napa Valley Cabernet producer. It was established around the turn of the century, and we have these amazing caves that we're here in. We have 14,000 square feet of caves. We're actually 75 feet below our Sauvignon Blanc vineyard right now. We have the cave goes for about a mile and a half total of tunnel. We hold about 1,000 barrels in here when the cave is completely full. 2 vintages worth of wine with 500 barrels per vintage. I started using the Aeroside unit in 2006 because we had some mold growth on the barrels. There was a bit of green mold that was growing around the bung and the hull of the barrels. The Aeroside unit's extremely valuable. We're using it to basically inhibit mold growth and airborne microorganisms that can be spoilage microorganisms in the wine. So if we had any sort of spoilage microorganisms get into some of the wine, each barrel could be worth $15,000, $25,000. So if we lost that wine for some reason, then we would have a serious issue on our hands. I've enjoyed using the Aeroside units here at Vineyard 29. The air is cleaner, and whether it's in the caves, battling mold or keeping spoilage microorganisms at bay, or whether it's up in our packaging supply caves, which we have 2 Aerosides in up there, and there's cardboard up there, and the Aeroside units basically take out the cardboard smell or potential TCA smells that could be in the air, so the air is less musty and less cardboard smelling. So there's multiple uses for the Aeroside units here at the winery. It's actually come in quite handy.
Well, my name is Alan Villader. I am from Villader Vineyards and Winery. I am second generation from Napa Valley, and I am Director of Operations and Winemaking here at Villader. The fun part of having a cave is that you're in the center of the earth. You're dealing with all sorts of natural humidity, different things change with each season. Great for natural cooling during the summer months. However, during the winter months, we have very high humidity. Now I have 3 Aeroside units in the cellar. I have 16,000 square feet, so I do need a few more. It's not only the square footage, but it's also the layout of my caves. I have so many different offshoots and different tunnels that it's important that I get at least 6 or 7 in total. We have 300 to 400 barrels at any given time here, so you can imagine the amount of time that's kind of caught up in just keeping everything clean. What we used to do before having the Aeroside units is go through manually 4 times a month. Every Friday we'd go through with 2 guys with a solution of sulfur and water and go through and manually scrub every barrel. Since having the Aeroside unit, we've cut that down to once a month. Our savings in man hours is easily 40 to 50 hours a month on just having the systems running 24 hours a day. I do a lot of fermentations in barrels, in open top barrels, so there's a lot of yeast spores floating around. So what I used to do was put the fruit in the barrel. The next morning I'd come in and it would be fermenting already. So with the Aeroside unit, I've been able to do a cold soak period of about 3 to 4 days. Which has really helped in the quality of the wines.
Hi, my name is Julio Ramirez, production manager for Yolga Wines. I've been doing this for 15 years. I started working in the bottling line, eventually moved into the cellar, and eventually worked myself into assistant winemaker, and eventually as a production manager for Yolga. So we're here at the Hoffenlin Yolga Barrel Room. As you can see, we're surrounded by barrels. And for us, working with barrels is one of our main jobs that we do. This is where we spend most of the time working with, either emptying, topping, or filling barrels. Humidity is very important for us, and make sure that we don't lose a lot of wine through evaporation. On average, I lose a barrel less every month on topping. I think we're going to pay for those Aerosides in 6 months just by the wine that we don't have to, that we don't lose through evaporation. After we've seen how well they work, our next step is going to be to add them to the cellar. After that, we're going to add it to the lab and to our tasting area, where we want to make sure we don't have any mold or microbial growth. I highly recommend this aerosol to everybody in the industry.
Hi, I'm Brad Warner from Sawyer Cellars. I'm the winemaker and Vice President of the winery here at Sawyer Cellars. Production here is right around 5,000 cases. We're 100% estate-grown fruit, 50 acres of vineyard. Our wine styles are really to make wines that represent the terroir here in Rutherford without the over-influence of tannin or oak. Picking the fruit by taste, not by chemistry, and just basically following that all the way through to the bottle. We are using all French oak here at Sawyer. We have an underground barrel storage area that contains about 332 barrels. And it's all natural air, no air conditioning there and no humidification, but it's underground, so it has beautiful temperature control, natural, and natural humidity. And since the wine actually picks up its environment, you want a fresh smelling barrel room, not chlorine, absolutely not chlorine, and not any other chemicals either. So when the black mold started growing on the walls and the ceiling, it was a concern. When Aerocide was introduced to me, that's when we went with Aerocide, but filtering the air with the Aerocide systems removed the mold. Today, they're running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Year-round, we don't have any problem with black mold. It does allow me to have higher humidity, but again, it's natural humidity in the barrel room. But I can have it higher without any mold growth. So less evaporation, but less labor cleaning as well. So we get to spend more time with the wines rather than scrubbing the mold off the wall. Again, back to the winemaking style, is we really like to make naturally made wines. So the use of chemicals or additives is really not preferred. And with the Aerocide, I mean, that really helps us accomplish our goal on making more naturally made wines.